what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back on my home turf, hometown filming spot location, and guess what? We have that one crossover SUV from that iconic Japanese brand that really has some big pluses. What is it? It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Mazda CX-50. This particular one is a turbo, and it's got all-wheel drive. But before we get into this luxury style crossover SUV without a luxury price tag, let's talk about what's going on here. So Mazda has been doing the business for quite some time. I mean, it goes back to the 1930s for when their first car was introduced, their first vehicle. It was called the Mazda Go. It was a three-wheel, small pickup truck. That was back in 1933 in Japan. Fast forward to the 2025 model year, they got a pretty dominant lineup of crossover SUVs, starting with the smallest CX-30 and finishing up top with the CX-90. This CX-50 kind of slots perfectly in the middle. CX-30, CX-5, CX-50, CX-70, CX-90. Now what's interesting is I thought when they came out with the CX-50 that they were going to get rid of the CX-5. But as you can hear, those birds, they're flipping out right now because guess what? Mazda didn't get rid of the CX-5. So you could still get a CX-5, or you could go with this vehicle, the CX-50. It's technically a compact crossover, but it is a little bit larger than a CX-5. It's sibling in the lineup, so to speak. But what I want to find out is, does this do compact crossover SUV the best, especially when you're looking at some of the big competition, specifically from Toyota with the RAV4 and Honda with the CR-V? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this pearlescent white. They call it crispy snow white of a CX-50 and find out. Right off the bat, it just has nice proportions. It's not stubby, it's not fat, it's not too long, it's not too high, and it's not too low. It's like the Goldilocks of compact crossover SUVs. Now at the front of the business, you're getting awesome signature headlight design. LED daytime running lamp, projector beam LED headlights. Love this dark metallic gray, gunmetal gray finish on the grille. And then in the lower portion, we do have a little bit of functionality of that large corner air curtain area. I just wish it was a little bit more functional, but we're gonna leave it alone. We're not gonna zonk it. You do got a bit of flat black, but I'm okay with where it's located, and look how super thin their turn signals are. It's almost as thin as a piece of paper, but really so good on style. This makes a CR-V or a RAV4 or even like a Subaru Forester look like it's 30 years old. It's crazy. Now, as we come across that front grille, on this top trim, you're gonna get a gloss black grille, fully functional. The one thing it's missing is a forward-facing camera. Would have been nice to have a forward-facing camera, so that is a zonk. But I love that gunmetal gray finish, body color, and then flat black with the functionality. And you'll notice how they did a little bit of metallic silver on the bottom lip. But it has a nice purposeful, muscular look without being too over the top, and it definitely doesn't look fuddy-duddy, even in this pearlescent white. Now, as we rise up, you got a nice long hood, a slight bulge in the center, always nice to see. Makes you feel a little manly when you got the bulge. And then as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tires. So what you're gonna find are these 20-inch wheels, machined aluminum, gloss black, multi-spoke design. Tires all four corners are 245 on the width, 45 series sidewall, and they did a fantastic job not making the cladding look too over the top like the CX-30. They even took like a little bit of Dremel tool and dremeled out this top portion just to give it some nice character lines. I'm being honest, this is a good looking crossover SUV. Now, as we work our way down the side, you do have metallic painted mirror caps, not just stupid gloss black, so it gives you some style. You do also have your thin LED turn signals. And then I like the way that they just went flat black around the window frame openings, bright silver on those super close to the roofline roof rails, and then just a little bit of flat black along the bottom with the body colored door handles. And the door handles are just, I don't know, there's just something that Mazda does differently with their style and their design. It's like they give it an extra look at it before they just finish it off. Working our way towards the rear. Not digging this shiny bright metal work on that. I wish they would have just left it off, to be honest with you. It's kind of just pointless because there's no other shiny bright metal work anywhere around the windows. Love the way they did, and I'm gonna have Steven kind of swing around this way and show that flared off fender. It's actually coming off the passenger door where the door handle is into the rear fender. And then out back, they almost nailed it. Almost. The only two zonks I have, of course, is gonna be the wiper. Second is gonna be this. Why do we have such a stubby roof spoiler? Kind of just looks dumb. They do the same thing on the CX-90 and the CX-70. I don't get it. But I do really get and like the LED taillights. You got your CX-50 all-wheel drive badge. You do have some fake vent in the back, and I am gonna zonk that. They could have done something a little better. How about take the reflector out of here and put it here instead? That would have made more sense. But the turbo badge, just to let people know, you got the zoom underneath the hood. And then as we get down to ground level, nice exhaust finisher on each side, stainless steel tip / cut. And they did the bottom portion here super clean with that metallic silver. But it's got a pretty good looking rear end. Why don't we go ahead though, let's pop up, open that hood and see the turbocharged power plant underneath. All right guys, we got the hood open. Unlike a lot of the competitors, we actually have hood struts, which are nice. Decent engine cover. I know a lot of people joke, hey, it's got 2 cup holders in the engine cover. Yuck, 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 yuck. But anyways, decent engine cover. What's underneath the engine cover? Guess what? We have a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4, pumping out 256 horsepower, 320 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to a 6-speed, not an 8-speed, 6-speed automatic transmission. The vehicle weighs 3,864 pounds, 0 to 60 in about 6.2 seconds. Top speed, 142 miles per hour. MPG's not bad. 23 in the city, 29 on the highway. And remember, with this vehicle, it's front-wheel drive based. And then, of course, through a drive shaft, it sends power to the rear wheels when slippage is detected. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this 4-banger turbo and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Mazda CX-50, this being the top trim with the turbo. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, lay it on me. How much is it? MSRP, you know, it all depends on how you look at things, right? It's like, is the glass half empty? Is the glass half full? You're comparing it to some tough competition. This one, MSRP, $43,000. But let's see what Mazda does differently than the other brands. To the door panels. Love the material. Soft touch up top. A little bit of gunmetal gray. We got the Bose premium sound system. And then you have that leather style material with the crisscross applesauce stitch pattern. Really pops nicely. Soft touch on the armrest. No gloss black around the switchgear. And then the door pocket is large enough for 2 Whoppers and a Coca-Cola to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, the soft touch, love what they did here. Really great style. Come on in. I know this is the Achilles heel. The thing that everybody likes to ridicule is the infotainment system screen. That's a standard 10.25 inch screen. It's only a touch screen if you use Apple CarPlay. If you use Apple CarPlay, then you can touch it. If you don't, you got to use the direct drive control knob. I prefer the direct drive control knob. I think all of you guys that are upset about this system are nuts. You got the navigation. I'm going to use the direct drive. Listen, I could zoom out. Yee, look at that. We're all the way in space. And then zoom back in where we're at in Clearwater. I could then go home. And look how easy it is to scroll through this information. I mean, it's come on. You can't need more than that. Look at this. It's like I'm a pro and I've only been in the car for a few hours. and I'm good to go. Backup, resolution's good. I just want this to be bigger. I know maybe some of you have had somebody tell you that, somebody that you loved in your life say, I wished it was bigger, but I do wish that that image of the backup was bigger. It's like you use up all the screen for good. There's a lot of dead space on the screen too. I mean, even when I have it back here, this is all just useless. So either give me 12 inches or trim this down. But anyways, let me continue before I go crazy. Working our way down, I'm already crazy. Direct drive. You have dual climate control, which is very direct. You turn it and it directly affects the temperature. We got a start-stop button. You got a heated steering wheel, heated seats, and look at this, ventilated seats. I know somebody very close to me right now that's very jealous that this has ventilated seats. Love that. You do got a place for a 7-Eleven Big Bite with extra sauerkraut, a 12-volt, 2 cup holders, Mazda key fob. It works. It's clean. It looks good. It won't poke you in the family jewels when you put it in your pocket. This is going to control your six-speed automatic transmission. You have your MI drive controller. I'll show you that when you come to the business end. Direct drive control knob, a real volume knob, just a little bit of gloss black. And then look at what we got here. Wireless charging. Can't miss that. And then you do have 2 USB-Cs, and I would say enough room for 4 Rubik's Cubes. You know, it's funny, as a kid, I went to Chuck E. Cheese more than once, obviously. I know I'll probably just say the story, tell the story and say one time, more than one time I went to Chuck E. Cheese, but I went there once, and I have to tell you this. I got to get this off my chest. I've never actually told this to anybody. So I wound up winning enough tickets in skee-ball, and I got myself this Chuck E. Cheese Rubik's Cube. Instead of it having colors, it had all the Chuck E. Cheese characters on it. What I did was I took all the stickers off, and then I put them back on so that it looked like I solved the Chuck E. Cheese Rubik's Cube, and I took it to school, and I bragged to all my friends. So this is my first time. Hi, my name is Joe Rady from Rady's Rides, and I lied about a Rubik's Cube from Chuck E. Cheese. I feel so much better now. The seats, the leather, perforated. Look at the stitching. Look at the full electric assist for the passenger. You got the crisscross applesauce stitching, full electric assist for the driver. I'm a little on the fence about the beige headliner. Just something says old person to me about that. I wish it was just black material. But you do have a power sunshade for that panoramic sunroof, so that's really nice. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind this sporty steering wheel in this Mazda. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. What's weird is that, well, I shouldn't say it's weird. It's actually a good thing. You got 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. It's just kind of weird where they put the buttons, and I'm going to show you. Not here. This is where you have your regular seat controls. Love the cushion, the pushing for the cushion, and the cushion for the pushing of these seats. They feel comfy. They support my body. 6 feet tall, plenty of room, headroom-wise. Steering wheel, it's a little thin, but I'm still okay with it because it's good leather, nice crisscross stitching. You got these thumb controls that are silver, so you don't have to worry about fingerprints. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. You do have these little tiny postage stamp paddles for the 6-speed automatic. The weird thing I want to tell you, this is where your seat saving controls are. So you got 2 memory seat settings, and then you see this here? This is the automatic start-stop feature to turn it off. For some reason, Mazda's got to give it a special name called iStop. And then we have our dash. I actually like the way they do their dash. Nice digital display in the center. You can make it look like a traditional speedometer. And then you got the analog gauges flanking it. That's fine for me. And you got a head-up display. So they got you covered for enough information. Let's, though, get in the back seat and see if your passengers are going to be happy you went CX-50. All right, guys, back seat time. If you use the word compact for this vehicle, it's not compact at all. There's a lot of room in here. 6 feet tall, not even close to the headliner. Love the leather all the way around. And then check this out. You do have AC vents back here, 3 stages of heated seats, 2 USB-Cs. I have a pocket where I could put 2 personal pan pizzas. I'm freaking hungry right about now. And then semi-soft with 2 cup holders. But I love all the crisscross applesauce stitching. Somebody did a really good job with that. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area, because I want to take you for a little zoom in this Mazda. All right, guys, cargo area time. Hit the button, do it the old-fashioned way. Nice electric assist. You're going to be greeted to a very spacious cargo area. That's 31 cubic feet of space with the seats up. The seats do fold 60-40 split. You fold them down, that gives you 53 cubic feet of space. Check it out. You got a room for a gallon of chocolate milk on both sides. That is a lot of chocolate milk. I love the way they have the handles, easy access, baby, to fold down those seats. And the best news is, if you got 2 gallons of milk, what do you have to have, especially chocolate milk? You gotta have some damn cookies. Where are we gonna put the cookies? You actually have some room underneath here with the spare. So you do have a spare, but you also have some room for the cookies, or you can lay the front seats down and go to Costco and get those big cases of cookies. Or just one big giant cookie that you just gnaw on it like a mouse on a big piece of cheese. You just gnaw on the cookie for a week. Whatever floats your boat, man. I'm not here to judge. But what I am here to do is go on throttle. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go for a spin in this CX-50. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Mazda CX-50 Turbo. I'm gonna go ahead and take that My Drive or MI Drive control switch and go from normal to sport. You'll see a change in that center gauge is bright red. And when you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. So you are getting some sound pumped in, but it's actually pretty pleasant. Nothing too obnoxious. And really does a good job of acceleration. And remember, at the end of the day, you're getting some good return on the MPGs, even with all-wheel drive. The other mode besides sport and normal is going to be off-road, which we're not doing any off-roading today in this Mazda CX-50. So I'm just going to go ahead, keep it in sport. That's going to adjust the steering sensitivity, throttle sensitivity, and how the transmission behaves with the 4-cylinder turbo. You can see all the great information that comes up on that 10.25-inch infotainment system screen. If you do use Apple CarPlay, just let it be known, if you're going to touch the screen, it is quite a reach. But to use the direct drive control knob, I mean, it's like taking candy from a baby. That's how easy it is. I mean, look at that. Nice. Simple. That's all I need. I like simple. I don't want complicated. But the thing you're going to love about the CX-50 is how it rides and drives, especially on the twisty bits. I'm going to take the shift lever, pull it over to my leg. That'd be the driver's side. And now I could use the paddles. I'm actually going to shut the traction control off. We're going to come to a complete stop here, and we're going to go on throttle. Are you ready? On throttle. Here we go. So nice shifts, whether you're going up the gearbox or down the gearbox, which is great. And the paddles are on the smaller side, but I think most people are just going to drive with the vehicle doing the shifting for you. But it's nice to have the paddles for that just-in-case moment. Going down the road, there is a bit of road noise. Not any wind noise, which is great. Just a bit of road noise, but, you know, you do have the 20-inch wheels and tires, and those do tend to make a little bit more noise. It's one of those things that sometimes you could change the brand of the tire, and that will actually cut down on the amount of noise. Some tires, brand-wise, just make more noise, road noise, than others going down the road. But other than that, the chassis is nice and rigid. It's keeping all the vibration out of the cabin. And that's also going to help not only with the sound quality inside the cabin, but also the handling characteristics. They really did a good job balancing sportiness, but also comfort. And the steering has a nice quick feel to it, especially in sport mode. But visibility is great. Of course, you're going to have emergency brake assist, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, all those goodies. And it's a good enough size, and it's got enough power that when you're in traffic situations, you're able to get out of your own way very, very quickly. And then, of course, you have all that great space for your passengers and for your junk in the cargo area. But nice to have comfortable seats, seats that are supportive. And of course the Bose sound system, which is another big plus. But it does a great job getting the power to the ground. And that's going to be important whether you're up north in the snow or, you know what, down here in Florida, we have had one rainy year so far. And when the streets are flooded, it's nice to have that all-wheel drive to keep you connected to the surface. All right, guys, as soon as this light turns green, we're going to go on throttle. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. Little bit of delay from the boost building up from boost lag, but once she's cooking, you're off to the races. Steering has a great feel to it, and this is what creates that whole zoom experience that Mazda used to advertise. They still have it, but they don't advertise it anymore. It's like they want to appear more grown up, which I guess is fine, but growing up to me sucks. I want to have fun when I'm driving. I don't want to be all old and decrepit. So, you know, I still like to use the whole zoom adage. And that is what Mazda does really well. It's a nice, playful driving experience, but it's also super well refined. Especially this interior. I mean, they're doing things with the interiors that you got to step up to a full-on premium luxury vehicle to get, and you're getting it in this vehicle, and you're not having to break the bank, which is perfect. And I think another thing you're gonna love with this vehicle, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it back into normal mode since I'm in a high traffic situation, is that in this traffic situation, it's very comfortable. It's not too big, it's not too small. It really is the Goldilocks of mid-size crossover vehicles. But easy to kind of weave in and out of traffic. And you have, of course, the blind spot monitoring. It alerts you with a beep. It alerts you visually on the dash, on the digital gauge cluster, but it also does it in the head-up display as well. But just love the feeling through the steering wheel and having that nice driver-engaged experience in a crossover SUV. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of the Mazda CX-50 Turbo. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another zoom fun kind of day. Really enjoy driving these Mazda products. So I definitely want to thank everybody at Mazda USA for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle. But let me know what you think. Does the CX-50 just do it better when it comes to an SUV, a crossover SUV? The luxury, the price, the style, the performance. Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Race Rides family. Gotta get up to Stephen Flood. Stephen Flood Photography. He practices his trade, his art, even at 1 a.m. in the morning. And that's pretty early for him. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for being so dedicated. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.